What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. And today we're going to be talking about how to not have your late model Mopar stolen, or hopefully how to prevent it from getting stolen in about 3 different ways. Now, why this video's come up now, which yes, Mopars have been being stolen for quite a while, Hellcats, Scatpacks, all that kind of stuff. Mopar's kind of finally started rolling out a software update that's going to help quite a bit, and it might be free if your vehicle's still under warranty. And even if you're not under warranty, you still should be able to go in and get it taken care of, pending your vehicle has the software update available. So again, like I said, we're going to talk about the big 3 ways that these things are getting stolen when you have it parked in your driveway, parked at the airport, parked somewhere overnight, and then you go out the next morning and your Jeep, your TRX, your Hellcat is gone and missing. So starting off again with the new software update. Now, before I guess we talk about this, there's a whole bunch of aftermarket, security, anti-theft, remote disable, kill things. There's a whole bunch of them. And again, whether you've got a taser, which is again an aftermarket electronic device that has a keypad number entry thing, or again, there's just a whole bunch of aftermarket alarm, security, anti-theft things. But man, I've just never been a big fan of adding aftermarket electronic security stuff to our modern CAN bus controlled vehicles. We just see a whole lot of issues with weird aftermarket electronic things causing issues, causing weird stuff that I'd rather not have on my own vehicle. That's why I was so excited when I saw Mopar came out with this software update and has been rolling it out onto more models, more years. And what I'm talking about here is the software update for the RF hub module. That is the radio frequency hub module on all of our modern Mopar vehicles. That is the electronic control module that lives in the vehicle, depending up in the headliner. Some are on the back cab wall. It just kind of depends on which vehicle, but that's what reads the keys when it's in your pocket. You'll walk up to the vehicle and it unlocks, starts the vehicle, all without doing anything with your keys, because it's sending that radio frequency signal from your key to the vehicle to start the vehicle. Now, what this software update does is disable the ability to program new keys, because the first big way that theft is happening, thieves are going up to these vehicles at night. They've got electronic devices that are basically plugging into the vehicle, reading the vehicle's key code, key data, and then they're able to just program a new key, fire the vehicle up, drive away. At that point, you've had no security issue. It's just like you're programming a new key at a dealership and you drive away scot-free. So what this software update does is disable the ability to program new keys, like forever. Now, that even means us at the dealership can't undo the software update to program new keys. So if you think you would like an additional key or 2 or 3, you absolutely have to do this before doing the new software update. Now, is there a workaround? Yes, absolutely, but it involves replacing that control module that we just did a software update on and then programming new keys. So again, like I said, make sure you've got all of your keys in check before you do this software update. Now, this software update came out quite a while ago, but it was primarily only on Hellcat Chargers. Challengers, it never was showing up on TRXs or 392 Wranglers for that matter. But over the last X amount of months working as a dealership technician, I have found this software update popping up on a whole bunch of vehicles, and even surprisingly vehicles that are not performance or high theft issue vehicles. This software update is popping up on. So this 2021 Ram TRX here, it now has the software update available. I could go in, do the software update, and take care of that potential issue. Likewise, this 2024 Jeep 392 also now has the software update available. And like I said, I've been kind of intermittently checking other interesting vehicles as they've come into the shop. Just last week, I had a 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, which again also had the software update available. So like I said, they've just been slowly implementing and rolling this out onto multiple other vehicles, model years, all of that kind of stuff as time goes on. So I cannot guarantee your random whatever year, whatever make, whatever model is going to have it, but it might be worth going into the dealership, checking on, getting with the service department and saying, hey, I've heard there's a new RF hub update that can potentially lock down or lock out the RF hub to prevent theft, to prevent new keys from being programmed. So that is the first thing, again, that we're talking about here, is that way to steal the vehicles. Again, just basically walking up to it, programming a new key and driving away. Now, the next big way that there has been theft is also key related. Now, say I've got this Jeep here parked in my driveway and I've got the key for the vehicle inside the house, but just barely. Say I walk inside the door from the garage and set it on the counter. So this key is in a relatively close proximity to the vehicle, but not close enough that it obviously senses it. But there are RF hub or RF signal repeaters. You might get where I'm going here. The fact that this key is in a relatively close proximity to the vehicle, you take that RF signal repeater, which is an electronic device that grabs a RF signal and then repeats the signal. So with this key in the house, the vehicle sitting here in the driveway, and that electronic RF hub signal repeater sitting in between the two, all of a sudden this Jeep thinks that you've got the key in your hand. Again, you just jump in it, fire it up, and drive away. So that is kind of the big second way that these vehicles are stolen. Now, what can you do to prevent that? Now, yeah, make sure the key is not in a close proximity to the vehicle, but they make Faraday signal blocking bags, pouches, boxes that you can put your RF signal key in that in theory should block any of that RF signal. Now you can find these things all over eBay, Amazon, whatever. And again, they are a radio frequency bag, a special material that blocks that signal. So when you have that key in one of those bags and walk up to your vehicle, it's not going to unlock, it's not going to start, it's not going to do anything. So if you get into a good routine of when you go into the restaurant to eat and the vehicle's right there in the parking lot, putting that key in the bag, or again, when it's sitting, if you can't park the vehicle in your garage, it's sitting out in your driveway all the time, putting that key in one of those RF blocking bags devices, then you can also kind of prevent that second method of these things disappearing all the time. Now guys, last but not least, the third way that these things end up walking away out of parking lots, driveways, and anywhere and everywhere is any of these vehicles equipped with the ZF 8-speed transmission have a remote neutral release cable that is located inside the vehicle. Now, the purpose of this cable, or its job in life in the vehicle, is to be able to pull the vehicle out of park, pull it into neutral so the vehicle can be rolled. Whether the vehicle's broken, transmission issues, electrical issues, we use this all the time at the dealership on towing broken vehicles into the shop, rolling vehicles on the alignment rack. There's just a number of reasons why that is a useful feature of the ZF 8-speed transmission, but you might, again, get where I'm going with this. If this truck is parked here in the street, on the road, in the driveway, and you were to walk up to it with a brick, anything, break the window, reach in the vehicle and pull that neutral release, all of a sudden this thing is rolling away, and there's tow hooks on the front of this thing. Strap it to another vehicle and it's gone. Just like the Wrangler here has a neutral release. So the thing you can do for these, and again, not just the Wrangler or Ram, this would work for any of your Chargers, Challengers. Like I said, literally anything with that ZF 8-speed transmission is removing or unhooking that park release cable from underneath the vehicle. Now, this will, again, help you on if somebody were to break in the vehicle, they pull that manual release, it is now not going to come out of park. The vehicle's going to be stationary, and they'll probably not want to steal it then, but it's going to be absolutely a pain in the butt for a service department, for a tow truck, for that sort of situation. If this vehicle needed to be rolled down the road into a shop, because guess what? The thing's not going to work now. Again, you could tell that service facility, hey, I've got that park release cable disconnected. If you got to roll it, you may have to crawl under there and reconnect it. Now, I will take you guys underneath and show you that cable on both of these. It is always going to be in the same location, depending on whether it's a Grand Cherokee, a Wrangler, a TRX, a Charger, a Challenger. They're all the same transmission. It's the same case, depending on what guts are in it. But that park release lever is on the left or driver's side of that transmission housing. And again, you can take a small screwdriver or a panel popper and pop that cable off. And then the vehicle can't be rolled away. So again, let's jump under one or both of these real quick so I can at least show you what I'm talking about. All right, guys, so going under the driver's side here of this Ram TRX, right about middle of the door, we're going to be able to crawl under this thing and look up at our transmission pan. Now, here's our transmission pan, here's our transmission cooler lines, and right there, where I'm pointing, is our neutral release lever. So that is what we are talking about. You can see the cable boot there going forward. That is what you can remove or disconnect from that transmission lever, and then have the vehicle not be able to be pulled out of park while it's sitting there stationary. Now guys, we're running over here to the Jeep Wrangler 392. We'll again jump under this thing so I can show you our release lever. Now guys, you can see this release lever is slightly angled different. Instead of that TRX that was kind of pointed straight down, this one points slightly forward. But again, it's the same story over here with the cable there connected at the top to that black lever. So guys, those are the big three ways that these things are getting stolen, rolled away, chopped up, drivetrains pulled out of them out there in the world. And hopefully using one or all three of these methods, you'll absolutely reduce the risk of yours meeting its demise at a chop shop somewhere in Lord knows where. So gather up all your keys, make sure they work, and make sure you don't want to add any new before going into your dealership and asking about this new RF hub or RFH software update to prevent theft. Now, there's no point in me telling you this service bulletin number because every single vehicle is going to have a different service bulletin. This one happens to be for the 392 2024 Wrangler here, but the issue or symptom is customers may be concerned about the vehicle theft due to the ability of key fobs to be programmed through the RF hub. This software enhancement updates the RF hub software to prevent hackers from programming their own key to the vehicle. This is intended to deter unwanted drive-off of the vehicle without the customer's knowledge. So again, I cannot guarantee your 2018, 2019, 2020 Dodge, Jeep, Ram has it, but it absolutely would be worth a trip into the dealership, and hopefully you've got a good rapport with them and can ask, hey guys, can you plug this thing in and see if I've got the new RF hub update for the theft deterrent? And if so, and if you want it done, go ahead and get it taken care of. If your vehicle's still covered under the 3-year, 36,000 mile basic warranty, this should be a free software update. If you are out of your 3-year, 36,000 mile basic warranty, your dealer's probably gonna charge you an hour's labor, a half hour's labor, something for doing this software update on the vehicle. Now, our option 2, that Faraday key blocking signal bag, again, you can find a million of these things on eBay, Amazon, whatever. If you do end up going that route, absolutely test it. Put the key in the pouch walk up to your vehicle and make sure the darn thing does not unlock and you can't get in it and drive away. Because if it does, then you know that bag is not working. But one of the guys at work have one for his Dodge Challenger Red Eye, and he puts it in every single time he gets to work. And we have absolutely tested the thing with the key in the bag, walking up to it. Vehicle has no clue a key is right next to it. It does not unlock and it won't go anywhere. And again, thirdly, that park release lever cable underneath the vehicle. Crawl under your vehicle. It's easy for me to say with a Jeep here and a Ram TRX here, but if you've got a Charger or Challenger, get that thing up on a lift or get some jacks and jack stands under there and pop that cable off of that lever. The vehicle will still run and drive and shift and do everything it should. It's just that release cable that will not work in the vehicle. So guys, hopefully you're a little more educated on the new software update and a few other preventative measures to keep that high performance Mopar in your driveway or out in the street when it is parked. So guys, thanks for coming out into the driveway with me today and hopefully securing our late model Mopars a little bit better. And guys, as always, thanks for watching and we'll catch you guys next time.